Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're in the front yard and we're doing a beginning of August front yard garden tour. So over the summer I've been breaking up my garden tours: front, back, medicine garden, and lower garden, because there's just so much to see. So we're going to take a walk around the front yard and see what is in bloom the beginning of August. As a reminder, I live on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A, where even though we're in August, it's been cloudy all day, it's sprinkling a little bit, and we rarely get above 70 degrees at home. Maybe like 74 is like really hot. So we don't get those super hot temperatures even though we're in a zone 9. All the zones tell you is when our last frost date is. So don't be confused about that. We just have a very late frost date, but it doesn't mean that we get hot weather. Other zone 9s, like in California and Texas, they're getting triple digits in their weather right now. That doesn't happen here. But we still have a lot going on in the garden and it looks really beautiful. So let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you what's in bloom. So starting here with the jasmine, we have a lot of jasmine in bud form. A little bit has started to open up, enough that I can actually smell it right now. It smells divine. All right, so moving forward, we did a bunch of cleanup recently, so some blooms have faded since then. In this privet grove, so these are all privets, which need to be pruned back again. We have Pearly Everlasting in bloom. The hostas are still hanging in there. These hostas got a little bit more sun this year because I cut the privets down so severely. I did that because, and they're going to come down again pretty soon. But I want my elderberries to have a chance to get taller. So this is a black lace elderberry here. She has put up a huge tall stalk, which is exactly what I hoped would happen if I gave her a little more sun. As well as over on this side, the lemony lace. So eventually those will get big enough and fill in enough that I could keep the privet really low and the houses will still have plenty of shade. Let's step out of this garden. I have lilies are done. The lilies are done. The asters haven't started. The big white lilies are coloring up. This one is just starting to peel. It's gonna be open any day now. We have daylilies. So the daylilies, this one opened up today. These all opened up yesterday. So we're constantly having to pull off the dead blooms so that the new bloom tomorrow can show off. And over here, we do have some roses coming into bloom. This one just finished yesterday. Look at this clump though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 roses. Rare. How amazing will that be when they all open up? They all have color. I think we might get all 12 of them in bloom at once. Just super cool. And then we've got the climbing rose, plenty of blooms. The catmint is blooming. And this rose is blooming again. Love this rose. So pretty. And the little buds in the back there. This is a burning bush. This is a burning bush, and it is getting so big, and I can't wait to see what the fall color looks like, because it has really fantastic fall color, but it's been so little the last few years. This year should be really fun. This rose, isn't that gorgeous, with the white and then the red inside? Oh God, it's so pretty. And there's a yellow rose right there. I have all kinds of miniature roses growing in this. I think this one's done. We've got little buds everywhere. There's buds back there. I did this little planter in honor of the 7 miscarriages that I've had. So I have 7 miniature roses in there. We have Supertunia Snowdrift right here and right here. They're not doing as well as the Supertunia Mini Vista White. So I will repeat those again next year. I will probably choose a slightly different location because they're kind of crowding out my Iberis. We'll see. I've got lots of dahlias coming up. They're getting ready to open. And then we have, this is Lady Liberty Dahlia. She's so pretty. I love it. A pure white, gorgeous dahlia. And then we have Gay Princess, which is right here. So sweet. And then we have a whole bunch. They're up. They're just not ready to bloom just yet. We do have the Dragonberry in full bloom right now. I love how the tips glow. So awesome. And then we have a little baby one that migrated, which I'm fine with. We have Crocosmia in bloom against the Macrophylla blue hydrangea back there. And then we've got the Rose Campion magenta colored flowers. This is just like a super fun riot of color right here. It's really fun. Our barberry over here is putting on new growth. I love the new growth of this barberry. Look at that. So beautiful. All right. We do have a little bit of sea thrift still sporadically blooming here. Back it over into this part. We have Rudbeckia just starting to open up her blooms. Back here in the containers, we have what is this? I think it's Lady Godiva or Goldilocks Rocks. Well, anyway, beautiful Peachy King Verbena doing pretty well. The Juniper really likes her new location. But the Queen, what is this? Queen Tuft. I'm not as impressed with this in a mixed container as I thought I would be. I thought it would be a lot more showy than it is. We've got Veronica coming back into a new flush because I cut it back. And then we have all of these, which I don't remember what these ones are. That's why I leave these in here. Bright Lights Red Osteospermum. And this is the Lady Godiva Orange Calendula. And then we have Double Up Red Begonias in here. I think there's another one over on this side. Oh, and then this is the Super Bells Tangerine Punch. I just love this color combo. It's so much fun. And across the way, we have another Osteospermum. I don't remember the name of it. I don't have a tag. Oh, yeah. This is Bright Lights Horizon Sunset. Really pretty. And then we have the Angel Wing Mix in the back, or Poor Man's Orchid. Really sweet, fun, summery mix. In this container, the Peachy King Verbena is doing really well. Also, our baskets are starting to perform again after I cut them back really hard about a week ago. But they're blooming their heads off, and I think they're gonna be fine. They're gonna bounce back. Just, you know, it's gonna take a minute. This one is still doing okay. I've been struggling with thrip on this container specifically. So what happens is the blooms open this much and then they stop. And at first they were only opening like this much and stopping. So now they're opening a tiny bit more, a tiny bit more. So I'm hoping that means that I've got some of this under control. I've just been using the Captain Jack's Dead Bug, and it takes care of thrips. And then we've got this container full of color. Isn't that so beautiful? Ugh. Really fun. And same with this one. I cut it back really hard. It was just getting super leggy, so it'll start blooming again here pretty soon. I'm still loving my weeping cherry tree. Even though she's not in bloom, I just love that structure in the garden. Over here, let's see, what else do we have going? We've got just a few cranesbill geranium going, but look at this. Gladiolus. Aren't they so pretty? So we've got this really deep, I don't even know what that is, tangerine color maybe. And then this one is my favorite, the yellow with the red throat. Just love it. And then this one is super fun. It's like, I don't know, some kind of delicious sundae or something. Really fun. Our Shasta daisies are done. They need to be deadheaded. Crocosmia is still going crazy. We have goat's beard in bloom over here. We've got a pink right there, and then we've got a white right there. Super fun. Just a few oxeye daisies left. And then, well, let's go up here. I'll show you how the trio of Supertunias are doing. The Vertigo Pendacinum is putting on a tiny bit of growth, but it's really not doing what, you know, as advertised. This one's getting more sun, more growth, a little deeper color. They should be like 8 feet tall and super dark purple like this one. But in my garden, they will be a perennial. So as long as I keep all this morning glory or bindweed away from it, it should winter over for me without any problem. So I'll just keep my eye on it and keep it happy. So maybe next year it will get more of its height. Over here in this garden where I like to keep a lot of like different types of grasses. All the grasses are doing pretty good. We have bluegrass here. It looks like maybe a cat or something is like kind of hanging out in this one. Plus we have strawberry growing through it. Ponytail grasses are looking good this year. These are the Supertunia trios that we got from Godfrey Nursery. So there's a Supertunia bubblegum, a Supertunia jazzberry, and silverberry or something like that. Anyways, looking good, really fun pop of color over here. The pampas are doing pretty good. You could see how big they've gotten. No blooms this year, but that's kind of typical. They don't always bloom the year after I've pruned them back really hard. All right, I think it's kind of it. Let's go back. Oh, we do have a late summer red hot poker or Nephofia blooming right there. It has a, this is one kind of Nephofia right here. And it blooms in the spring. And then this one blooms late in the year. There's another flower coming on right there. And it has a completely different texture of plant, which is really interesting. I have lemon balm going to bloom, so I really need to come out here and prune that. The Vermillionaire is really taking off right now. Isn't that fantastic? It looks so good. And this, whatever it is, I think it's a snapdragon. I don't know. And then we've got the honeywort, which needs to be trimmed back desperately. So yeah, that's kind of it for the front yard garden tour in August, I think. I imagine in a few weeks we're going to have all of our dahlias blooming. So if we have a peak bloom time before the first part of September, I will do a quick, front yard update to share with you all the dahlias in bloom. So sometimes our gardens kind of go in lulls. And to me right now, it's like, I know there's a lot going on. There's plenty blooming, but I don't feel like I have any really big wows except for my hydrangea. And I have to remind myself to appreciate her beauty because they grow native on the side of the road around here. And so pretty much everyone has a big giant blue bush in their garden right now. So it's not a showstopper for me, because if I drive by 100 houses with the same blooms, it's like, oh yeah, those are in bloom, that's cool. But it's not stopping me in my tracks, like, what is that? And I don't feel like I have one of those in my garden right now, which tells me I need to find out what would be a really great showstopper this time of year in my garden before the dahlias start blooming. So in this kind of lull period, what can I get into my garden? So it's time to visit a garden center and think about that a little bit. So if you are looking for year-round interest, that's the best way you could do it, is go to your local garden center and go every single week and make sure that you have a plant that really pops in your garden if that's something that you're interested in doing. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you're celebrating your life, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.